point, when you elevate your level of bass fishing and you want to take it to the next level, you have to learn how to trust and use your instincts to catch more fish. Now, this is something that we as humans, we've had this ability forever, because this is something that ancient man, Native American Indians, they've used instincts forever in order to survive and hunt and all that type of stuff. It's the same with bass fishing. So let me put it in the context as simple as I can put it, as far as trying to relate something that's very difficult to put into words. When you're talking about intuitions and instincts, it's hard to verbalize that a lot of time, what I'm talking about. But the best way that I can describe and how to use your instincts with bass fishing is you have to pay close attention to how it feels to be in an area, or how it feels to be using a certain technique. In other words, one of the first things that you need to do to pay attention to on your instincts is, if you're fishing, say you're going down a bank, or it doesn't matter where you're fishing or what lure you're fishing, if you ever get the feeling that you're just casting and you don't expect to catch a bass, you need to make some type of an adjustment or change. This is the first basic rule of instinctual fishing, and it usually is never wrong. So let's say, for example, you're fishing down a stretch of riprap, or you're fishing a rocky bank, you're fishing down a point, and you feel like you're just going through the motions and your confidence level's low. That is a good indication that instinctually you may or may not be in the right area. Best thing you can do in a situation like that is either change your lure or change your location. You will know. It's like when you land on an area and you land on a bait that feels right, it feels good to do that. It's like you're going to catch them. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take to do that. So it's not necessarily about catching fish or not catching fish. It's about being comfortable with where you're at and what you are doing. Now, I can be in an area that it may not have any fish in it at all, but everything looks perfect, and I've got a lot of confidence, and I'm expecting to catch a fish every cast. And I've been in other situations out there where something looks pretty good, but it may not look super, super great, and I feel like I'm just casting, and I'll be surprised if I catch one. That's what you want to, figure out with that. The next thing you need to do with instincts is don't second guess anything that comes to your mind as far as trying something. So how many times have you been out fishing and you're working down a shoreline or whatever, and you're not catching any fish, and you go, man, maybe I need to try instead of a black and blue jig, maybe I need to try a plastic worm. Or instead of this, crawdad pattern crankbait I'm throwing, maybe